Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're somebody that is in the social work program and you want to work but you don't know like what you want to do in the field of social work, but you're curious like what is some type of job I can work while in the program to gain some type of experience so that when I work in the field I have some background experience to put on my resume. If that's the question you want answered, then this is the video for you. So one of the jobs you can work while in college is called a direct support professional, and if you see me looking down looking at my notes, a direct support professional, or known as a DSP. Sometimes they call it a caregiver. So a direct support professional, you're working with the developmentally disabled clients. They can be highest functioning, can talk, walk, everything, to the lowest functioning of, you know, they're nonverbal, they're bedbound, wheelchair bound, etc. You can deal with clients that have behaviors, but this is a good field to work in because there's many different clients you can work with throughout the different populations. They can be geriatrics, they can be adolescents. You can work with clients who have behaviors. The second one is a CNA. So when you're a CNA, that's a certified nursing assistant. So pretty much you work in nursing homes, hospitals, home health companies, private agencies. Maybe you even work with families that are gonna pay you, and it's like private, or like sometimes some families, if you look online, they'll just post it like looking for a caregiver or CNA to help my mother, blah 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 blah, will pay you. So this would be contracted through the family and they would pay you instead of the company paying you. So when working with this population, you're working with many different populations. Once again, it could be the geriatrics, adolescents, etc., etc. And you could be working, like I said, in the numerous different homes or nursing homes or houses and stuff like that. But anywho, that's beyond the point. Once again, this is like flexible hours because they usually have day shifts, midnights, and overnights if that's when the client needs help, depending on when they need help the most, from the, you know, if they're living with their family or if they're living in a nursing home, then it's 24-hour care. And it's nice because when you have classes, then you can like they can work around your schedule there, because you can, if you know you have like internship and evening classes, then okay, you know, you can work midnights, or maybe certain days you can work morning shifts, and you're able to help the clients. Well, actually they're called residents if you're working in the nursing home. And when working with the residents, you know, you're able to help these clients, and they're so vulnerable because they need help. They can't wipe their own butt, they can't get up out of the bed, they need help showering, they need help eating, they need help getting their meds taken. So like these are things that you can help them with. And then when working with these residents or patients, if you work in a hospital, whatever area you work in as a CNA, you're able to figure out, okay, this client used to go to this hospice center weekly, or this client used to go to this doctor's office weekly. So then when you do become a social worker, you kind of know about these resources and these free places they can get maybe free food, or where they can get insurance from, because you've been working with them hand in hand for so long. And then when it's time for you to become a social worker, you know how to find those resources and where to go about it. That's another one. Also for CNA, you have to get a certification. So usually you can get that through like Ivy Tech Community College, or if that's not what it's called by you, a community college. It's like a certification. It's like a written test you have to take, and then there's a physical test you have to take. Like they give you pretty much, like they pull out of a hat, and there's like a couple scenarios they give you, and then you have to show them how you would transport this client or how you'd wash this client, etc., etc. The third one is a behavioral health worker / tech. I've seen this a lot. I've seen this a lot on hospital websites. So what I'm assuming this is you're working with clients, or I'm sorry, at the hospitals they call them patients. I'm sorry, I'm just saying clients because at my job, I'm a DD, I work with the developmentally disabled population, and we call them clients. So sorry, excuse me, excuse my French. But as a behavioral health worker / tech, you're working at a hospital with patients, and this could be someone that has, like, you know, maybe they came from a psych ward, or maybe they have a psych diagnosis, or maybe they're suicidal, but you're just watching them. And I don't know too much about it because I've never worked in this field. However, okay, it's a great field because you work in the hospital, great benefits. And if you decide down the line, hey, I want to be a hospital social worker, that's the easy way for you to put your foot in the door somewhere and get your foot in the door. and connect and mingle and socialize, so that when it's time to get the job at the hospital, you can get it. This is just a great way, you know, to work in the field while going to college as a social work student, to gain some experience and know how to handle patients that have behaviors or that are suicidal, so that when you do work in the field, you know how to manage and, you know, help your clients cope with these type of issues. Another one is a ABA therapist. So an ABA therapist is an individual that is interested in working with clients who have pretty much behaviors, and you have to, I believe, I'm not for sure, I know every company is different. I think you have to take some type of certification exam for this, and I don't know, like, if they hire, I'm assuming they hire you on, and then once they hire you, then you're able to, like, kind of get started, and then while you're working, you have to take the exam, like, you know, study for it and then take it. But I'm sure it's I think it's like a certification or something like that, like kind of like what CNA is, but it's different. So with this, you're creating treatment plans to improve communication and behavior skills to succeed in their personal and professional lives. So you are working with clients who have behaviors, they're developmentally disabled. I know people that have worked as an ABA therapist and they had to restrain clients because this is part of their behavior plan to calm them down. So if this is something that you're like, no, I don't want to restrain people or clients, you don't have to. That's okay. Not every job is for you. It's a great way to work with the DD population and working with clients with behaviors, and learning, you know, how to deal with things in crisis and how to do crisis intervention and how to just work with clients on a daily basis, how to build your patients up, because in the social work field, your patients will be tested. So you're gonna have to know how to handle clients when they push your buttons, when you are drained and overworked, and how you have to keep continuing to move on and be there for your clients. So this is a great way to do so. Fifth one is being a tutor. So being a tutor, you can be a tutor for elementary, middle, high school, or college. I thought this was a good one because you're tutoring or mentoring a student of a subject that you're passionate about, that they're struggling with. And I thought this was kind of interesting because they're struggling on a subject or concept in that subject that they don't comprehend or that they're struggling with, and you understand it as the tutor, but you have to break these concepts down and break it down for the students small enough to where they understand it. And everybody learns differently, so the same learning method and the same learning or teaching method you use for one student you tutor may not be the learning method or the tutoring, you know, how you tutor someone else. Okay, just like when you're in the field and if you're doing therapy, or if you're doing like therapy and you're helping someone go through this trauma experience, you may use some type of theory on this one client, but with another crisis this other client's going through, you may not use that theory. You may use a different theory. So I just thought that'd be kind of cool, because you're learning how to find different ways to allow this student to understand what they're learning. And when you're in the field, you're gonna have to do the same with your therapy. If you're doing therapy, or if you're working in the field as a social worker somewhere else, or like if you're at the hospital and you're trying to find a home for a homeless individual, and you were able to use that one homeless shelter, but you're not able to use this other one the next time because they're booked or they're full. So things like that. And the sixth job and the last job that we're going to talk about today is childcare. So whether that be the daycare, preschool, whatever, I think this is a great area to look into as well, because if you want to work for like welfare or DCS, or just work with like the younger population, or you want to be like adoptions, you know, case manager, etc., or Geminis, Head Start, these are all great ways. This one right here is a great way for you to learn to know how to handle kids, because you have the tools to already work in this population, such as being a child therapist, or like I said, welfare social worker. And then you already have those skills because you built those skills over time. And then, as you know, whether it's the child care, preschool, like child care, aftercare, preschool, or daycare, you have to work with kids. You have to deal with kids when they have tantrums. You see how they're, you know, how they're acting. You can tell if something's wrong with them or if they're acting abnormal from how they act every day. So you already gained some of that experience. And then when you work in welfare, the child welfare, or if you work in, you know, your child therapist, or wherever you work with children, you gained experience, but you've also gained some tools to bring with you and some gems so that when you work in that field, you know how to have patience with kids. You know, this is it for this video, and if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a big fat thumbs up. Okay, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Also, if there's another video you want to see that I have not put on this channel yet, go ahead and drop it in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.